What do sinus problems, vertigo, ear issues, vision changes, headaches, TMJ, and neck pain all have in common? Most people never connect them, but what I've seen case after case where the missing piece was the neck. When you have 2, 3, or more of the above symptoms and nothing seems to be coming back positive with testing, the missing link is probably the neck. I'll share real client stories, why doctors often miss the connection, and what you can do if you've been struggling with these unexplained symptoms. So I'm going to start with client stories because how we find that people have all these different issues is because of sharing a story and going, oh my God, I've had this weird symptom and no one's been able to figure it out. And I'm like, oh my, and then you start talking to them and you start hearing that they have neck issues or neck stiffness and all these things. You start linking them together and I'm pretty sure they're going to be connected. So we had one client that we were actually seeing for back pain. And I was sharing another random story on like how the body is all connected. And that story got her thinking, I've had this weird smell. Like I smell burning in my nose all the time. I've been everywhere. I can't figure it out. The doctors are like, they think I'm crazy. The only thing they've offered me was Flonase. So I have to take Flonase every single day. And if I do that, then I don't smell burning. And then I have vertigo as well. And then I also have some neck stiffness. And I'm like, you realize they're all probably connected. And I'm like, she's like, seriously? I'm like, oh yeah. So we went and we worked on her upper cervical. We gave her an exercise. We'll share more about that on another video. And the next day I texted, how does the nose feel? She goes, nothing, no smell. Like it's back to normal, no Flonase, which is amazing. And so another story, same kind of thing. When I share stories with people, they're like, oh my God, I have this weird thing. Maybe you can solve it. And so this particular client, same kind of thing, was getting a lot of neck and shoulder pain. So we knew that piece of it, but they also said like, I've had this weird ear issue. It feels like there's fluid in it. And I've tried, like the doctors are stumped. They're like, there's nothing. Everything looks normal. And I'm like, it's probably connected. Sure enough, we went and started treating her, treated the upper cervical spine. And at the end of the treatment, she went and bent over and then came back up where she feels like when she bends over is where she felt like fluid would change in her ear. And then she came back up. She goes, oh, it's 90% better. I go, yeah, it's coming from the neck. So why does this happen? This happens because, think about it. This is upper cervical. So our upper cervical is through here. And what happens is, you have nerves that are all connected through here that are close to anything happening. So let's say you have tightness over here. You got to think this is the referral pattern that's going to happen. So things can refer to the nose. They can refer to the eyes. We've had people with visual changes, literally like we worked on them. And they're like, oh my God, my eye is clear again. Like I've been to the doctors and again, we never know. We just don't always ask. And so now I share stories and this is what we hear all the time from our clients, but it's because it's through here. So there can be nerve compression from tightness. There can be nerve compression or blood supply compression from something not moving. And when something doesn't move, we always go mobility before we go stability. You'll have muscle protection because something's not moving. Jaw, same thing, neck. I'm telling you, they go hand in hand with TMJ. If you don't rule out the neck, you're going to be missing a component. We see that all the time. I think something like 47% of all issues into the extremities, I would say into the face, they all come from the spine. So you have to rule those pieces out. And so those are the reason why you have issues, eyes, nose, ears, jaw, headaches. They're all connected, especially when you have neck pain. So why do doctors miss this? Doctors miss this because they only go to the side of the problem. So you only have the ear issue and they don't start asking other questions and they only want to go to the nose to figure out, okay, what's going on with the nose, and they can't find anything. All the tests are coming back normal because it's not a nose issue. It's coming from somewhere else. So that's part of the problem. The other part is they only specialize in certain body parts, but they're not connecting everything. And the doctors that I find that even specialize in stuff ask amazing questions of like, okay, tell me when this started. what else was different around that same time? And they start going in and piecing things together and going, okay, cool. So that's where some of this is coming from. Tell me about, are there any other symptoms that are in that area that you're noticing? And so when you start, if you can really ask really good questions and you get to providers that ask really good questions, they will start piecing some of those together. But for the most part, they're specialists. They're only looking at one thing when it's not that one thing that's the problem. So those are all problems. Testing and imaging will come back negative, which then stumps doctors even more. And so what can you do that, what do you look for when we know that, oh gosh, if you get to a specialized physical therapist that understands this, what are some things that we need to look for? So first of all is the testing, everything came back negative. Like you went and got tested your eye, you've been testing your nose for whatever it is, whether it's smell, sinuses, or whatever, that's been tested, everything's coming back normal. You've tested your ear, everything's coming back normal. And so when you start having all these, and you have more than one of these symptoms, so let's say you have a nose issue, an ear issue, combined with neck stiffness. The neck stiffness is the key. It doesn't have to be neck pain. You may not even have neck pain. You may not even complain about neck pain, but there's definitely some stiffness with some turning. You notice that it's kind of tight, but it's not necessarily pain. Doesn't have to be, but if you have any of those symptoms, 1, 2, or 3 symptoms that are happening through here, plus having some neck stiffness, you got to go get someone that can actually rule that out. That is a big, big piece of the puzzle. And then just asking questions. Like, we all have to get better asking questions. Like, what else is bothering you in this area? Do you have any nose issues, ear issues? Are you getting any vertigo? Are you having any TMJ? Like, there's been times we're fixing people's necks and they didn't even realize that the neck was related to the shoulder. And then you start asking, do you have TMJ stuff? Because it feels like you do. Oh yeah, I had TMJ stuff. Never would have thought that they would have connected the neck to the TMJ. So because the patients don't feel like, don't understand how to make all the connections, and that realizing that, oh wow, this all could be connected, they won't share the information with you. And so then they go to all these specialized areas, and which is why I was like, I have got to do a video on this, because I know there's so many people out there that are dealing with all these different things when it's probably just a neck issue. And I'm hoping that this is a video that will definitely help you guys out. If you've been dealing with ear issues, visual changes, sinus problems, vertigo, headaches, TMJ, nothing has seemed to work, it might not be your ear, your eye, or your nose, or your jaw at all. It could actually be your neck. Check out my next video coming out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who's been frustrated by weird symptoms and might just be the answer they've been looking for. Again, my next video is going to be sharing some techniques and things that you can do to improve these symptoms.